It's KPHD 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits. It is a Friends Friday, and I bring me in my longtime friend. We went back to high school days together and things. Steve Shirley. Steve, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Nick, and boy, we do go a long way back.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. So you're a South High grad. I think you're a few months older than I am or something like that. But, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, I was the mighty class of 75, and you guys were right behind us. So.
That's it, 76, yeah. But good times back then.
Yeah, it was. There's so many great memories, and we talk about that every once in a while.
Right.
Whether it's sports or trouble we got into or whatever the case.
Yeah, exactly. And think back about some of those people. Mike Daniels was in my class.
Yes.
Wallace Cotton was in your class, I think.
Wallace Cotton was in my class, yeah.
So a couple of names that have been around Pueblo. But what did you do, like, right out of high school?
So, right out of high school, I went to the Air Force Academy. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was there 2 years and then came back and finished up out at the university. But, oh, my gosh, for 2 years, that was the most incredible experience I've ever had.
And was that a good experience?
It was fabulous. I mean,
really?
It was tough. I mean,
sure.
Especially when you have the name Shirley.
Uh-huh.
The upperclassmen just used that to haze me beyond belief.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I was Shirley Temple, and, they just – I mean, I at one time had to do 400 push-ups because I swatted at a fly. And
really?
So that's the craziness.
It built character, though, right?
Oh, definitely character builder. But, Nick, the cool thing, we flew once a semester. So flew in helicopters, fighter jets, transport planes, sailplanes.
Wow.
That part was, to this day, I have a love for aircraft because that was just.
That made it all worth all the hazing and stuff that was going on there.
Absolutely. Got to fly in an F-4 Phantom, which is the plane they used in Vietnam.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, to this very day, that's probably one of the greatest experiences.
I'll be darned. I'll bet.
We flew at, Mach 1, pulled some high G turns.
Wow.
And,
you'll never forget stuff like that.
Oh, my gosh. It was phenomenal.
I did have a truck with a Hemi in it, but that's not even close.
I got to drive a Ferrari this past weekend, and that wasn't even close.
I'll be there. Hey, it's a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley, here on KPHD 95.5 Friends Friday, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819.
Nick Donovan in the morning.
95.5 KPHD.
It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHD 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley, where we go back to high school days. And, we've worked together for a long time on different projects over the years, too. It seems like here or there, you've been now, after you got out of school at CSU, was it CSU Pueblo or USC?
It was actually USC.
That's what I thought. See, that's how old you are. It was USC.
Look in the mirror, my friend.
Well, I know. What can I? What did you do when you got out of USC?
So it was really interesting. When I was at the academy, I was a mechanical engineering major.
Uh-huh.
But when I came down to USC, I took a computer science class, and instead of, I found out that on Saturday nights, instead of out drinking beer with the boys, I was in the data center writing software, and so I became like the ultimate geek right out of school,
and computers were on the very early stages. I can say that because we're about the same age. Computers wasn't a big deal. When I started in radio, we had one computer in the building, and everybody had to use it, and it was so slow. And we scheduled music on it. Sales would do proposals on it. They did the time one computer and
probably had 8-inch floppy disks on it.
Oh, I'm sure it did. Yeah, no, I'm sure it did.
My first job was at the steel mill, and I wrote software with punch cards.
Wow.
And the rule, Nick, don't ever drop your box of punch cards or you're in trouble.
Why is that?
Well, then they're out of order, and so now
you don't know where you're at.
It might be 3,000 cards, and so now you gotta start over.
Yes. So you had the foresight to get into computers then. And
I did.
Who did you imagine anything was going to be like it is now?
It couldn't. And I tell you, that's what's been, I'm just finishing, I'll be right about 44 and a half years in IT.
Wow.
It's been so exciting because the exponential change just happens every day.
Sure.
It's never stagnant. It's never a rut because new technology is happening as quick as you can get the old technology learned. So
wow,
I've had so much fun being, just working in technology all these years. So.
Wow, back in high school, I didn't know you were that smart, so I guess it's all good.
Well, I didn't know I was either. But I might still not be, but
Steve Shirley in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819.
You're listening to Nick Donovan.
Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley, and worked at a variety of places. You're a Pueblo guy. You're a Pueblo native and the whole thing, just like I am, and you've worked all over here. But from what I remember, you must have been married for a long time because you've been with the same woman for a long time.
So Nick, on June 23rd, I'll have my 43rd wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So, and I married a gorgeous little Italian woman who still is gorgeous as she was.
Yeah.
But the important thing is she trained me appropriately 43 years ago, and she's never had to retrain me. So
you're like a good dog. You learn it once, and you're just
I'm set to go.
Yeah.
The other thing I figured out, you'll get this because we're Puebloans. I'm related by marriage to half of Pueblo.
Well, I'm the same way. See, I married an Italian, so it's the same thing. Yeah, all of a sudden I was related to nobody, and all of a sudden I'm related to half of Pueblo.
That's me too. And I also learned overnight that I could have rapid weight gain by eating too much pasta.
It does happen. Yeah, I was a skinny guy myself at one time. Now, was she? Did she go to South?
No, she was. So it's interesting, and I don't know if you remember, but when we were in high school, there was boundaries back then. It wasn't open schools.
Right.
And so I went to South, and then my brother and both of my sisters went to Central. And so my wife went to Central and actually graduated with my brother from high school.
I'll be darned.
We met in college.
You must have lived over by the fairgrounds kind of somewhere. Is
actually,
that correct?
I lived west of City Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they went to Central, huh?
Yeah, that whole area. And so I call that God's country. But, yeah. And so I actually played football against my brother. So
I'll be darned.
We lined up on opposite sides of the field against each other. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So you were over there like on Goodnight or Brentwood or one of the streets or something?
I lived on Sunset Lane. And
I'll be darned.
So
Pueblo all over the place here.
Oh, my gosh, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so you've been 43 years you'll be married then.
Yeah, 43 coming up on June 23rd.
And you're sure that's right because we're talking about it on the radio.
Oh, I'm 100%. Let me just tell you, it's cool because my birthday, then her birthday, then our anniversary all happened within a week.
So you can take care of everything all at once.
Not only that, but I never forget.
Never forget, yeah. Steve Shirley in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819.
You're listening to Nick Donovan on KPHT 95.5. Pueblo's greatest hits.
It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley. Now, we were talking, you worked at the steel mill many years ago when it was still CF&I steel and got into computer stuff and all that. But, when I first met you again after high school, you were really involved with March of Dimes and some of that stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's interesting how you get led to – different people get led different ways to community service. And I actually, Nick, probably most of the world doesn't know this, but I had a twin brother.
Oh, I did not know that.
And he was developmentally disabled, died when we were 3, so it's so that was a long time ago.
Sure.
But back in 1984, I was looking for something to serve the community with, and got to thinking about my brother, and ended up volunteering for Special Olympics. And Did that for 37 years.
I was going to say, that wasn't just a couple of year thing.
No, and I got to tell you, that was probably, it's just like flying in a jet, one of the most rewarding times ever, because those kids, no agendas, they just love, and it was just a hoot to work with those kids. And
you were like Special Olympics and a bunch of those things too, correct?
Yeah, Special Olympics. We did. The other thing that's been so fun is running parades.
Mm-hmm.
So this year's the 38th year that I've worked with and now run the State Fair parades. So
wow, so you're a busy guy.
It's really interesting because again, I felt drawn to serve in the community. I mean, it's just that's how we make our community better. And like you, I mean, we're my family's 6 generations in Pueblo, so. My grandkids are the 6th, and so we go back a ways.
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. My grandfather came from the old country.
There you go. So I feel I just always have felt it was important just to do things in the community. So. Well,
that's part of what makes Pueblo Pueblo.
I think you're right.
I don't think you see a lot of this same stuff, and I'm not dogging it, but I don't think you see a lot of the same stuff in Colorado Springs.
I think you're right.
Because people are in and out and moving, and but well, cool. Very good. I mean, I appreciate all the stuff you've done if I've never told you that before.
Well, and one of the things that I think is so special that your listeners ought to know about, just like, my chances to do things in town, you have been huge in this community. I mean. Well,
I did put on a lot of weight, yes.
And I was huge too, but now I've had to lose it. But no, seriously, State Fair Parade, it's the most incredible honor that this year the committee has selected you as our honorary marshal.
Well, that's what I understand. And that's, do I get to wear a hat and a badge, or is it a different kind of a marshal here?
Well, it's a different kind. So what you get to do, and because you love cars and I love cars,
right?
We're going to put you in a convertible, and you'll be at the front of the parade right after the Grand Marshal. And Pueblo is going to have an awesome opportunity to thank you for just all the stuff you've done over these years.
So that's, I don't even know what to say. When they called me a few weeks ago, it was like I was in shock. I didn't even know what to say. So obviously quite the honor for me to do that, and the board that chose me or whatever, I certainly appreciate that, but I don't know how to act. I'm usually the guy that's riding in a golf cart trying to interview people or something,
So the morning of the parade, I'll come by and show you how to do the special parade wave.
Okay. Will there be donuts? That's the question.
There are donuts. Yes.
All right. It's kind of back to the, Homer Simpson stuff there a little bit. Yeah. Steve Shirley in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's Greatest Hits, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819.
Nick Donovan in the morning.
95.5 KPHT.
It's Pueblo's Greatest Hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley, longtime Puebloan, lifelong Puebloan, just like myself. That's kind of how we've crossed paths all these years and things like that. How did you put up with Wallace Cotton back in high school is what I want to know.
The Wallace Cotton today and the Earl that I knew in high school are 2 dramatically different people.
Oh, really? Yeah. Somehow I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. That he was just very different in high school, but boy, what fun he's had.
Oh, yeah. There's another longtime Puebloan that's done a lot of crazy stuff here. But you were talking about you played football in high school. What other sports did you play, or did you play any other sports?
Well, I was, Nick, what I like to tell folks is I played everything, but I was average in most all of it. So, football, and I wrestled, and actually once I got to the academy, I played rugby, which
man.
That's probably why I have knee problems today.
I was just going to say, all those fun sports are why neither one of us could walk that well right
exactly.
now.
Exactly. Well, and then I got involved in a slow-pitch softball team, a competitive team, 150 games a year. I played catcher.
Oh, yeah, no wonder your knees.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine doing that when I had good knees.
When you had good knees.
I can't imagine it. Oh, man.
But
wow.
Great fun. Never very good, but I sure had fun.
You had fun. That's what matters there. But, that's the stuff I kind of miss now, is because I played in a lot of just recreational softball and basketball and all that stuff. But, body won't let me do it anymore.
That's what, I tell people that mentally I'm 30, physically I'm 70 or older, and then actually I'm 65.
There you go. Good combination or whatever. I remember we played volleyball together over at Calvary's Gym Baptist. Over there many years ago. Man, that was probably 30 years ago or more.
It was, yeah.
Wow. You're old. I guess I'm old too now that I think about it. Steve Shirley in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819.
You're listening to Nick Donovan.
Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley, and you work at Parkview now, correct?
I do, for another 50 days.
Oh, really? I'm just gearing up, and you're retiring.
And I'm retiring, yes.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, I've worked there 13 years, and I'll tell you that, it's one of those things. I worked 30 years in banking after the mill.
Minnequa Bank, and that,
right?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I was back at Minnequa in the day and running the Squirrels Club, but my dream was always to get into healthcare and to work, and strangely enough, to work at Parkview. I targeted that 40 years ago.
Wow.
And 13 years ago, got there, and I tell you, Nick, that has been the most rewarding, most incredible job I've ever had.
And you're like IT there, kind of.
Yeah, I'm the VP of IT. I like to call myself head geek. I mean, I'm not big on Eagles or titles, but I have a responsibility for all the technology at Parkview. And
wow, that has to be rewarding. It has to be challenging too.
It's super challenging, but I tell you what, when I watch new technology, we just brought in, just very quick story, but we just brought in something called a TAVR, TAVR. Which is a way that we can do a valve replacement without opening up somebody's chest and having 2 weeks of hospital stay. This is a little tiny thing that goes into your femoral artery up through your groin area. They take it up into your heart and then deploy the valve, and you go home the next day. And so that technology makes it so exciting every day because it's just what's coming next.
I remember my dad going through a valve replacement back in the 70s. That was a big deal.
It was a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of our first ones was a lady, 90-some years old. She went home the next day.
So what you're saying is I can still eat everything I eat, and it's not going to be as big a deal when they have to do some work.
Well, I don't know if I'm saying that, but
I was hoping you're saying that.
Yeah, I wish I could say that too. But
all right, so you're going to be like everybody else and tell me to start eating salads and stuff.
Well, I had to wait till my doctor told me that. So, now I've got religion and I'm eating salads.
Steve Shirley in here on a Friends Friday on KPHT 95.5, Pueblo's greatest hits.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819.
You're listening to Nick Donovan.
It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5 on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, Steve Shirley, and I was thinking back, we're about the same age as we've talked about here before. Best concert you ever went to back in the day?
Well, that one's an easy one, Nick. So for whatever reason, I became a Jethro Tull fan.
Oh, awesome.
And so, we went to Denver.
I was afraid you were going to say the Osmonds or something. Yeah. But Jethro Tull, awesome.
Jethro Tull. I still have every album that band ever put out, and went up to Denver and saw him. In fact, we wanted to leave work early that day of the concert. So you don't get away with this stuff today, but we paid one of our workmates with a 6-pack of beer to finish our job so we could get in the car.
Now, this wasn't at Parkview. We're going to set that up.
This wasn't at Parkview.
Yeah, to watch over that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we did that so we could go up. It was their Stormwatch concert, and to this day, it's one of the most incredible concerts
I'm sure.
I've ever been to.
Yeah, I've never seen Jethro Tull, so I'm sure it is.
The lead singer, Ian Anderson, played the flute. And, oh, my gosh.
Danced around playing the flute.
Oh, he was crazy. And he had, in a concert right prior to ours, a fan threw a rose up and hit him in the eye.
Oh, I remember reading about that or hearing about that, yeah.
And so he started our concert, and they played one of their songs. And then he stopped, and he said, now listen, everyone. If you see somebody getting ready to throw something, bop him one. That's what I do.
Rock and roll history there, man. Well, a lot of stuff out at the fair. What about at the fair? What's best concerts you saw at the fair, you think, over the years?
So back in the day, both of our dear friends, Dave Moore and I, we used to go, when some of the radio stuff he did, brought in a lot of country acts. And so I actually got to see Garth Brooks actually in the amphitheater the year before he
made it.
Before he became a star. So that was a great concert. And probably my favorite, and I've now seen them at Memorial Hall also, was Sawyer Brown.
Yeah.
And Sawyer Brown, so Mark Miller had just shaved his head. And so Dave took me backstage to meet him. And, he said, Mark, this is a good buddy of mine, Steve Shirley. And Mark looked at my bald head and he rubbed his head and said, some girls do.
I wonder if he'd ever used that before.
That day probably.
Yeah, I'll be darned.
But yeah, great. That was a great concert. Both of those with him.
Absolutely, sure, absolutely. In here on a Friends Friday, it's Steve Shirley on KPHT 95.5, brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage.
Hello, this is Vern from Advantage Home Mortgage. On your next home loan, remember 3 words: faster, easier, cheaper. Cheaper. It's no secret. Brokers are better. We are on your team, and we negotiate with lenders to ensure you get the best rate and lowest closing costs possible on your specific home loan need. Give us a call, 719-546-3100, to get your approval started today.
Advantage Home Mortgage, regulated by the Division of Real Estate, MLS number 1614819. It's Pueblo's greatest hits, KPHT 95.5. One more time here on a Friends Friday. My friend in today, longtime friend, Steve Shirley. We went back to high school days together and crossed paths many times over the years here. But you're getting ready to retire, and it seems like I'm just ramping up. I don't know. But what are you going to do when you retire? You got plans? You're going to retire in how many months? Or what's
50 days, actually.
50 days, less than 3 months.
And it's funny, Nick, because I really am not a day counter for the most part. I kind of do that just because folks will ask me. But it's just I'm so immersed in the job still that I think it's probably going to be the last day, and I'm going to walk in and say, oh, I'm not here anymore. But,
well, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. So you're not like dogging it, trying, hey, I only got 50 days left. I go hide out for lunch for 6 hours or something like that. That's not happening, obviously.
No, and it's way too fun. But, it's I tell folks I'm going to play as hard as I work, but I'm just so blessed. I have 3 grandkids who are, and if you know their daddies who were stellar athletes in their schools, all 3 kids are, my freshman at Pueblo West High School made the 2nd team All-League in soccer, and she's a basketball player, and the 6-year-old plays softball, and her daddy, the coach, has her swinging 150 swings a night, and it's just
6 years old.
6 years old,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and I still serve on 3 boards in town, so I'll keep doing that.
What kind of boards? What are you on for boards?
YMCA, Pueblo Community Health Center, and then the Lions Club. And
awesome.
And, I've always said, you're the same way.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be part of an organization that makes a difference in
Absolutely.
Pueblo. And all of those 3 do that. The Community Health Center, that new building on the east side.
Yeah. I was on that foundation board there. Actually, I was foundation president.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, that is a neat place.
Great organization.
Absolutely.
Such a blessing to serve those guys. It's just.
Well, you know what? It's a blessing having you be here this morning, and it's a blessing having you be a part of Pueblo. I got to tell you that right now, because you've made a lot of difference in a lot of places that are behind the scenes. And, I get some notoriety because I'm the face of a lot of different things, but you deserve a lot of notoriety for the things you've done behind the scenes, and I appreciate that.
Well, thanks. But again, just like we said,
you just do it.
You being the honorary marshal is sure a way for us to celebrate.
Well, yeah, that just still blows me away. Yeah. Honorary marshal of the Colorado State Fair Parade.
And I love it that, guys like us have lived here all of our lives and served the community, and you've been MC of events. You've done all kinds of stuff. And so, and this has been great fun. Oh, my gosh.
Well, good. I'm glad you had the chance to come in and before you retired, because you lose some momentum when you retire. Trying to get you out of bed at this time of the day would be impossible, brother.
Well, I'm getting rid of every couch in my house because I'm not going to sit around.
Somehow I know that. Steve Shirley in here on a Friends Friday. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to come in. It's all brought to you by Advantage Home Mortgage. Faster, easier, cheaper.